And many of you asked for a deeper dive into one particular aspect of this story, the mysterious figure known as Pete. So today, we're revisiting this topic, and this time, we're focusing on who Pete might be. Let me remind you that everything shared here is based on publicly available information and speculation. Nothing has been confirmed, so we'll keep the word allegedly at the forefront. We're here to explore the facts and what's being discussed online, not to make accusations. For those just joining us, let me give you a quick overview. Daystar, one of the largest Christian networks, is facing a serious internal controversy involving allegations of misconduct, financial mismanagement, and family disputes. Jonathan Lamb and his wife, Susie Lamb, have been vocal about their experiences, releasing videos that detail their claims about being forced out of the network and even fleeing for safety. At the heart of this controversy is a person referred to as Pete. Allegedly, Pete may be connected to some of the most troubling claims in this case. Yesterday, we touched on this briefly, but today, we're going deeper. Let's examine what's being said about Pete and why his identity matters to this story. Now, let's talk about Pete. The name has been circulating online, and people are trying to piece together who this individual might be. Based on the information I've seen, and I want to emphasize allegedly here, many are speculating that Pete could be Joshua Brown, the husband of Rachel Lamb Brown, who is Joni Lamb's daughter. This speculation isn't random. It stems from social media posts and testimonies tied to the Lamb family drama. Specifically, some online sleuths have pointed to Rachel's public comments, which they say unintentionally revealed connections to Pete's identity. For example, Rachel's posts reportedly included references to incidents involving children and statements that seemed to contradict earlier family testimonies. This raised questions about her husband, Joshua Brown, and whether he could be the Pete at the center of these allegations. Again, this is all alleged, and no formal charges have been brought against him. Let's break this down further. According to Jonathan and Susie Lamb, their family has faced intimidation and legal threats tied to this controversy. They claim that someone showed up at their house in a bulletproof vest to serve papers and that their car was being tracked. In one of their recent videos, Jonathan and Susie mentioned a disturbing incident involving a child who allegedly described their abuser as a man taller than her father. This detail led some to question whether Pete, allegedly Joshua Brown, could be involved. Adding to the intrigue, a voicemail from Gateway Church surfaced where a pastor clarified that Joshua Brown had never been involved in children's ministry during his time on the worship team. While this might clear some suspicion, it also raises more questions about why these concerns were raised in the first place. Now, I'm not here to say what's true or false. That's not my role. But these are the dots people are connecting online. And it's important to approach this with a critical but respectful eye. One of the most significant aspects of this story is how the public is reacting. Daystar has long been a trusted source of Christian programming for many. For allegations like these to surface, it shakes the faith of viewers and supporters. Moreover, the alleged use of donor funds to fight legal battles and suppress dissent raises serious ethical questions. If even a fraction of these claims is true, it could signal a crisis of accountability within the network. For those of us watching this unfold, the lesson here is clear. Leadership within the church or any ministry must be transparent and held to the highest standard. The Bible reminds us in James 3:1, "Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly." That applies to leaders like those at Daystar as much as anyone. To wrap things up, I want to remind you of a few key points. First, everything discussed today is based on allegations and publicly available information. The legal system exists for a reason, and we should let it run its course. Second, as believers, our focus should remain on Christ. This controversy, as upsetting as it may be, is a reminder to pray for wisdom, healing, and accountability, not just for the Lamb family, but for the broader Christian community. Finally, for those impacted by this story, whether you're a Daystar supporter or someone who feels betrayed, remember that faith isn't about institutions or individuals. It's about your personal relationship with God. That's all for today's episode of The Jeff Adams Show. I'll continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they come. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts. Who do you think Pete might be? What do you make of these allegations? Drop a comment, send me a message, or share this episode with a friend. Thank you for tuning in. Stay strong, stay faithful, and as always, let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, God bless.